Joining me now is Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Davis, retired U.S. Army member. Lieutenant, what in the world is going on in the Army that would lead two members to commit such violent acts?
Well, I think it's really important to keep this in context. I mean, there's like, what is it, like 1.8 million members of the armed force on active and reserve forces, et cetera. And these two guys are, I mean, they're human beings, and we have issues in our public at large, in our society, and in the military. But when you look at, and there's been some studies done recently, because there was lots of concerns after January 6th that there was a lot of folks who were in military veterans, and so they said, hey, maybe we need to look at a problem here. So there's some studies done. CSIS, RAND did some stuff, and what they found out that there was a minuscule fraction of less than 1% that had any concerns at all about radicalism. RAND study said that there's actually, in most cases, lower percentages of potential radicalism in the military as the society at large. And that doesn't surprise me, because most people who join the military have a love of country and they want to defend our country. They don't want to radicalize and do anything against it, even if they may not agree with some points here and there. So I just think people need to be careful about drawing too many conclusions, because these two guys both had military backgrounds.
Sure, and I think that's a great perspective to add to this, and I think it's very important. But it is kind of strange. It does make you sort of wonder, what are we doing about recruitment? That would be my first question. Are we making a mistake with recruitment, recruiting the wrong people? And then secondly, both of these guys earned awards. Jabbar earned a medal for the global war on terrorism, and then he turns around and becomes a terrorist. Is the problem with recruitment? Is the problem with the idea that we don't do a very good job of recognizing when you have a problem? I mean, these guys weren't short-timers in the military.
No, I think that the issue is not that. In fact, let's look at Jabbar first of all. He wasn't radicalized, according to people who have known, have been interviewed in the press today, until about a year ago, which is 7 or 8 years after he left service. So apparently there's no connection between what happened during the time he was in service and in the one in Las Vegas. That guy there was, by all accounts, there was some kind of domestic issue that was going on, some kind of a problem he had with his wife. He left there, drove to this, and connected this, and there's no evidence whatsoever that this has any kind of, terrorist kind of operations in terms of ISIS or anything of radicalized like that. This looks like it might have been a mental health issue. And the one thing that is important is that we got to, take care of each other. And that's one thing the military tries to do really well. Certainly it did during my time in active duty. But look, we're human beings, and there are going to be some mistakes made. And sometimes people get radicalized for reasons that there's nothing you can do about it. But I'll just tell you, I don't think it's an issue of recruiting, that we're recruiting, quote, the wrong people. We do lots of screening on that anyway, and there is a tiny number of things that have happened like this that I don't think you have a systemic problem.
Well, it is truly mystifying, but we thank you for bringing shedding some light on it, Lieutenant. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.